What's up, Christ-centered mental health community? This is me, David Lee Chu Sarche. I represent Christ-centered mental health, the ministry where I talk about mental health awareness from a Christian perspective in order to give you real hope in Jesus' name to the glory of God the Father. Before we get started on this show, Real Life with Schizophrenia, I just have a quick announcement for those of you that are new to the channel. Please check out the Christ-centered mental health ministry website. It's www.christcenteredmentalhealth.net. There you can have access to the On Faith and Mental Health blog. You can see our statement of faith. You can check out the Christ Centered Mental Health Ministry store. You can find out how to contact me or someone on the team for 24-hour peer support. And you can find out how to support the ministry via Patreon, Venmo, or Cash App. As I said, this is our show, Real Life with Schizophrenia, where me and Joe talk about mental health issues from a Christian perspective. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because we don't have any videos to cover. But the topic is we're going to talk about dual diagnosis, and after that we're going to talk about our medication. So first off, how are you doing today, Joseph?
I'm doing very well, thank you. A little tired, but because I just got a full-time job and I'm in the swing of things, and I'm pretty tired. But other than that, I'm good.
That's good. That's good to hear. Like, good job on the getting a job.
Thank you.
So before we get started, you want to tell the people what you understand dual diagnosis to be?
Well, from what I understand, there's some people who have just a single diagnosis, whether it's anxiety disorder or bipolar, whatever it is, ADD. But then there's some people with dual or multiple diagnosis, and I'm one of them. I'm schizoaffective, which is a dual diagnosis within itself. It's bipolar and schizophrenia. It's on a
Yeah.
spectrum, but there's different types. But that's basically what my diagnosis. And I got ADHD, and I also feel like ever since we did this show, I feel like I'm underdiagnosis because I feel like I might have PTSD or anxiety disorders as well. So, but I just
Well,
that's
dual
yeah.
diagnosis, from dual diagnosis, actually, according to the DSM-5, it's not so much as having multiple mental illness disorders. It's more of an instance of you have a mental illness and then you have some kind of substance abuse problem.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. So that would be someone who has a mental illness and he uses illicit drugs to self-medicate.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
actually, I actually have some topics for the dual diagnosis for us to cover. I pulled them out. This is the DSM-5, which for those of you that don't know what the DSM-5 is, it stands for the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. This is basically like the Bible for psychiatrists. Like anytime they diagnose someone, they use the criteria from this book to diagnose someone. And so, but with dual diagnosis, they actually have it. There's not specifically one version of dual diagnosis. There's different versions of it. So I wanted us to go over some of the different versions of dual diagnosis. So like the first one I wanted us to talk about is called caffeine related disorders. And I actually kind of chuckled when I saw this because I think I do have a caffeine substance abuse because I like everybody who knows me knows I love my Mountain Dew. I can't get enough of it. So I wanted to go over that real quick. So it says, okay, so the criteria for caffeine intoxication is the person you have to recent consumption of caffeine, typically a high dose, well in excess of 250 milligrams. I do that a lot. I definitely drink more than 250 milligrams of Mountain Dew. Like, and then it says five or more of the following signs or symptoms developing during or shortly after caffeine use. And the first, so basically, in order to be diagnosed with caffeine intoxication, I have to meet five or more of these criteria. So it's based. Number one is restlessness. Um, yeah, I can see when I drink
Sometimes.
a yeah when I drink a lot of Mountain Dew, like I notice I do get kind of jittery. I'm very restless. Like sometimes I really have a hard time sleeping when I drink a lot of Mountain Dew. So that's what nervousness. I don't really get nervous. Like so, yeah. And next one is excitement. Well, I do get excited when I drink a lot of caffeine. Like insomnia. Yeah, like when I drink, especially when I drink Mountain Dew late in the evening, I do tend to stay up like to like 5, 6 in the morning because I can't sleep at all because I'm so guilty and stuff. Flushed face. Uh, I don't really get a flushed face. So let me see. So far, there's one, two, three, four. So four so far. And diuresis. I don't know what that is, but and there's gastrointestinal disturbance. That is actually that's the most disturbing one to me because I've had stomach issues in the past, and I was told by the surgeon that reversed my ostomy bag that I can't afford another stomach surgery. So this one actually concerns me, the gastrointestinal disturbance. I mean, yeah, that sounds pretty bad. And
Right.
then muscle twitching. I don't really experience that. And then rambling flow of thought and speech. Yeah, I do. When I drink a lot of Mountain Dew, I do tend to like have a rambling flow of thought and speech. That happens quite a bit. So that I mean that's already five right there. So basically, yeah, I think I do have caffeine intoxication.
I I can't relate to that one because of my ADHD. When I drink caffeine, it kind of slows me down for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
that's
mean,
true. Like it's been proven that people with ADHD, if they drink caffeine, it actually calms them down. That's why a lot
yeah,
of the times, like with kids, when parents have a kid with ADHD, the psychiatrist a lot of times will encourage the parents to give their kid a little coffee.
right.
So
Yep.
next one, this is okay. So since we covered caffeine intoxication, I figured it's only fitting to cover caffeine withdrawal. And basically, caffeine withdrawal basically is defined as prolonged daily use of caffeine, abrupt cessation, which means stopping. So, abrupt cessation of reduction in caffeine use, followed within 24 hours by three or more of the following signs or symptoms. So, basically, when I stop drinking Mountain Dew, if I meet if I meet three or more of these symptoms, I'm suffering from caffeine withdrawal. The first one is headache. Yeah, sometimes when I go more than 24 hours without a Mountain Dew, I do get a headache. It's not like a bad headache. I can suffer through it, but I have been known to get headaches if I go more than 24 hours without a Mountain Dew. And then marked fatigue or drowsiness. Yeah, actually, like that happened to me. That's why I went out and got myself a Mountain Dew today, because I was feeling pretty drowsy before we started this show. And dysphoric mood, depressed mood, or irritability. No, that doesn't describe me. And difficulty concentrating. Yeah, if I like, yeah, I do have. Well, if I go longer than 24 hours without a Mountain Dew, and I'm having that headache, the fact that I have the headache, that does make it hard for me to concentrate. So that's three right there. So the fifth one was flu-like symptoms, which I don't really have flu-like symptoms. So that's basically so. After reading that, I think I do have a caffeine addiction.
No, you have COVID-19. It's clear.
COVID-19, yeah, yeah, that's true. All right, so the next dual diagnosis I wanted us to cover, you're gonna like this. It's cannabis related disorders.
Yeah, I probably have that myself.
Yeah,
Because
it
like,
said.
oh, go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish what you're gonna say.
Well, I am bipolar, and I use marijuana to balance myself because when I'm not on pot, I am very irritable and I'm very mean and I'm very intense. And if I don't have pot for 5 or more days, I am just not someone you want to be around. So that's why I kind of do it.
Mm. Well, according to the DSM-5, it says a problematic pattern of cannabis use leading to clinically significant impairment or distress, as manifested by at least two of the following occurring within a 12-month period. So basically, if you meet two of these criteria within a 12-month period, you have a cannabis abuse disorder.
All
So
right.
the first one is cannabis is often taken in larger amounts or over a longer period than intended.
Yeah.
Y'all, you do that?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. There is a persistent desire or unsuccessful efforts to cut down or control cannabis use.
Yes.
All right. So that's already two right there, but we'll go
I
ahead
already
and
got it.
yeah, you already got it. We'll just read the rest and see how many more. So, a great deal of time is spent in activities necessary to obtain cannabis, use cannabis, or recover from its effects.
I want to say that one.
You want to say that one? All
Nah.
right. So, craving or strong desire or urge to use cannabis.
Yes.
All right. And then recurrent cannabis use resulting in a failure to fulfill major role obligations at work, school, or home. So basically, if you feel like you failed to accomplish this goal
I
at work,
can. No, I'm doing fine right now. I got a job. I'm working. It doesn't affect my job. I'm doing fine with that.
all right. So continued cannabis use, despite having persistent or recurrent social or interpersonal problems caused or exacerbated by the effects of cannabis. So basically, does your smoking cannabis does it affect your social relationships?
Um, I guess in the sense that if I'm not on cannabis, I'm a lot more. People probably won't want to be around me when I'm on it. I'm a lot more easygoing. So
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so important social, occupational, or recreational activities are given up or reduced cause of cannabis use. So
uh,
basically, is cannabis use affecting your occupational or recreational activities?
I don't. I always do those things when I'm high. So I don't really not. I don't really not do them because I'm not high or am high. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that
Yeah.
one.
All right. So recurrent cannabis use in situations in which it is physically hazardous.
Oh, like I bump into stuff and whatnot.
No, like, are you using it in situations where it's physically putting you in danger?
No. Like, walking on the edge of a mountain while I'm stoned? No, no, not doing that. Believe it or not.
All right, all right. Well, that's good. And cannabis use is continued despite knowledge of having a persistent or recurrent physical or psychological problem that is likely to have been caused or exacerbated by cannabis. So basically, are you still using cannabis even though you know that it's having a negative effect on your physical or mental well-being?
Yeah, like I wish I could stop so I could save money. I
Yeah,
would like to spend money or save money on more. And rather than spending on marijuana. And I want to have a future for my wife and invest and stuff like that. And like marijuana kind of hinders my ability to do that.
yeah, yeah. All right, so I guess we already established that you have a cannabis use disorder.
Yeah, I think the cure
Yeah,
for that is cannabis.
cannabis. All right, so next one. All right, no, the next one, like obviously, since we did caffeine withdrawal, now we're going to go over cannabis withdrawal. So it says cannabis or cessation means stopping. So stopping the use of cannabis. Use stopping the use of cannabis. Use that has been heavy and prolonged, usually daily or almost daily use over a period of at least a few months. So have you ever stopped using
3 months? I've been smoking almost every day since I was 14, and I'm 41 now.
all right. Okay, so it says in order to be classified as dealing with cannabis withdrawal, you have to meet three or more of the following criteria in approximately a 1 week period. So the first symptom is irritability, anger, or aggression.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's one. All right, so nervousness or anxiety.
Yeah, that's why I smoke, so I don't feel that way.
So that's two. Sleep difficulty, insomnia, or disturbing dreams.
Yeah, I've suffered insomnia. I don't really get bad dreams. That's pretty rare, but I've had insomnia since I was 18,
Well,
and
that's three strikes.
without antipsychotics, I can't even sleep.
Yeah, that's three strikes. Um, decreased appetite or weight loss.
Yeah, like about 5 years ago, I was about 165. I was shredded. I had a lot of energy. I was hiking mountains and going to the gym, and I was in the best shape of my life, basically. And then
Yeah,
COVID happened, and I thought, like in my mind, that the Antichrist was about to rear his head, and I was about to get persecuted, and it kind of got to me. And then I got in bad. Then I got like gained weight. So,
yeah.
and the whole time I was smoking marijuana.
Yeah. All right, so next one is restlessness. When you go a week without weed, do you feel restless?
Um, you mean like can't sit still?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, unless I'm playing video games, I'm always on the move. So
yeah, yeah. And depressed mood.
occasionally,
Yeah. And then at least one of the following physical symptoms causing significant discomfort. So it would be abdominal pain, shakiness, tremors, sweating, fever, chills, or headache.
no,
No?
no.
I guess it's possible if you go a week without weed, you're suffering from cannabis withdrawal.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I told my psychiatrist that I needed a substitute or something to help me out because I'm trying to
Yeah,
quit cigarettes and I'm trying to quit marijuana, and it's not easy doing both at the same time when I've been kind of hooked on both of them for a while. So
yeah.
I felt like some kind of med would help me out there, but the thing she gave me was just like a fancy Benadryl type of like antihistamine
Why
type of
don't
drug.
you? Oh
Hmm?
no, never mind. I was about to say ask for Chantix, but that's actually for cigarettes. Never mind.
Well,
I don't know.
next time I see her, I'll address all this.
Yeah. All right, so that was it for cannabis use. So the next one I wanted to talk about in the dual diagnosis is other. It says other hallucinogen use disorder. Now I will admit I don't have experience with hallucinogenic drugs, but at the same time I do know what it's like to hallucinate without drugs. But I picked this one up because I know you have experienced
Yeah, a little
hallucinogen.
bit.
So I want to know. I picked this up because I wanted to see like if we have similar experiences with this.
Well, um, the only three hallucinogens I ever did in my life was acid, mushrooms, and then about 10 years ago, there was all these weird synthetic drugs going out about, and
Yeah,
I tried one of them, and that was the hardest of the three. That made me trip, man. Like that
yeah,
was
yeah.
so.
All right. So this one it says, okay. So it says a problematic pattern of hallucinogenic or I missed that. A problematic pattern of hallucinogen use leading to clinical significant impairment or distress, as manifested by at least two of the following occurring within a 12-month period. So basically, in order to get this disorder, you have to experience two of these symptoms within a 12-month period. So the first one is the hallucinogen is often taken in larger amounts or over a longer period than was intended.
Um, typically when I do them for like once in a blue moon. I don't
Yeah,
repeat the process after a while, so I wouldn't say
yeah.
I qualify for that.
Okay. So the next one is there is a persistent desire or unsuccessful efforts to cut down or control hallucinogenic use. So basically, you don't have a desire to cut it down.
No, I rarely do. So
Uh,
I was just basically experimenting. I wasn't really like, hooked on it or nothing.
yeah. It says a great deal of time is spent in activities necessary to obtain the hallucinogen, use the hallucinogen, or recover from its effects. I don't think, yeah, this doesn't apply to us.
Yeah.
It says a craving or strong desire or urge to use the hallucinogen. Yeah, basically, this doesn't really apply to us, so I'll skip that. Um, the next one, let's see. Come on, where's the next one that I picked out? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this one I picked out opioid use disorder. Now I don't have any experience with opioids, so I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about this. But
Um.
it says a problematic pattern of opioid use leading to clinically significant impairment or distress as manifested by at least two of the following occurring within a 12-month period. So again, here it is. You have to exhibit at least two of these symptoms within a 12-month period. But before we go into these symptoms, want to tell us a little about your experience with opioids?
The first time I did it, I think it was either Percocet or Vicodin. I don't remember which one. But my grandpa gave me some of his because
Yeah,
I got into a fight and I was drunk, and I went to
yes,
his place in Chandler or this other city that's in my town, and it's like a suburb near Phoenix. And I went over there. He gave me a Vicodin, and I felt like I was melting on the couch. It felt great, but
oh wow,
I doubt that I was never really hooked on it, you know. And
yeah,
this other time, an ex girlfriend of mine gave me OxyContin, and I
yeah,
have no idea why anyone would do that stuff for fun. That was one of the worst experiences I ever experienced ever. Like that was terrible. I'll
yeah.
never want to touch that crap ever again.
Was it really that bad?
Yeah, I have no idea why anybody would do that on purpose. It was
Yeah,
awful.
that makes sense. All right, so the symptoms of an opioid use disorder. Again, in order to be diagnosed with this, you have to meet at least two of these criteria in a 12-month period. So it says opioids are often taken in larger amounts or over a long period than was intended. Did you ever do that when you were taking opioids?
No.
Yeah. There is a persistent desire or unsuccessful efforts to cut. So basically, like you don't have a desire to cut down opioids or to prevent it.
Basically,
I
my
know.
opioid problem and my hallucinogen problem were one and the same. They were pretty much. I
Yeah.
never was really hooked on either of these
Yeah.
things. So
That's what I'm getting the impression on this, like the opioid substance
the
abuse.
marijuana for sure, but the other stuff, the other
That's
drugs I put in my life, not
that's what
really.
that's what I'm saying. It seems like the opioid substance abuse is similar to
Yeah,
hallucinogenic substance
yeah,
abuse
exactly.
because a great deal of time is spent in activities necessary to obtain use opioid to recover from its effects. And yeah, it's basically the same as as the hallucinogenic. So I'll just go ahead and skip that. And then, oh, okay. So we can go over opioid withdrawal, and you can tell me if you feel any of this. So, presence of either of the following: cessation of opioid use that has been heavy or prolonged, several weeks or longer. So this is basically covering several weeks. It says three or more of the following developing within minutes to several days after criteria A. It says, oh, you probably haven't experienced any of this because you said you weren't really addicted.
No, I was never really addicted to opioids.
Yeah, but the symptoms are like nausea or vomiting,
Nope.
muscle aches, um, let's see, diarrhea, yawning, fever, and insomnia.
I have insomnia, but it's unrelated to the opioids.
Yeah, no, exactly. All right, so this one, we might be able to relate more to this. It says stimulate use disorder. So it says a pattern of amphetamine. I can't say that word. Okay, amphetamine. I can't say it. Like amphetamine, amphetamine type substance, cocaine, or other stimulant use leading to clinically significant impairment or distress as maintained by at least two of the following occurring within 12 months. So basically, to get this stimulant use disorder, which is pretty much amphetamine or cocaine or another stimulant, you have to experience one or two of these symptoms within a 12-month period. So
Okay.
the first symptom is the stimulant is often taken in larger amounts over a longer period than was intended. Um,
Um, I was never. My friends growing up were really into cocaine and meth, but I was really along for the ride. I didn't really
yeah,
buy it. I was the one that always bought the marijuana, and had the marijuana
yeah,
on me. But my other friends, they had eight balls and meth and cocaine, and I did it with them and stuff. But it was never really my thing. I kind of enjoyed cocaine a little bit because I could actually focus with that stuff. But meth, I never really liked. I hated the withdrawals and the hangovers that were
yeah.
associated with it. So meth and cocaine were never really my type of drug. So
Yeah, I actually have friends that are doing crack too, and they'll try and offer to me, and I'll tell them no, I don't want to do that. So I think like my thing is when I was younger, like the most I ever did was smoke weed, because I was always afraid to go higher than weed. I thank God for putting that fear in me, because I think if I didn't have that fear, I probably would have done higher drugs.
that's good.
So I just didn't want to die when I was younger. I heard stories of people
Yeah,
dying after the
you
first
know,
hit.
your friends might call you whatever for not joining in with them, but that actually shows bravery not doing drugs with them.
Exactly, yeah. So there is a persistent desire or unsuccessful efforts to cut down or control stimulant. So basically, when you're doing crack or cocaine or any kind of stimulant, you don't have a desire to cut it down or to give it up.
Right.
A great deal of time, okay, is spent in activities necessary to obtain the stimulant, use the stimulant, or recover from its effects. So basically, you're doing activities to get like so basically like a crackhead will like do stuff like sleep with someone just for like some crack basically.
Right.
So then craving or a strong desire to or urge to use the stimulant, that's self-explanatory. And then a recurrent stimulant use resulting in a failure to fulfill major role obligations at work, school, or home. So basically, the stimulant is causing you to have troubles at school, work, and home. These are pretty much. It seems like dual diagnosis, like you could pretty much put all this stuff under one umbrella because it seems like they kind of mirror each other.
Yeah, it's just pretty much someone with a mental illness, instead of relying on psychiatric medication, they use something else to help them out, and it
Yeah,
tends not to work out.
yeah, exactly. So then, the under stimulant withdrawal, you have to. Okay, so you have to meet two or more of the following symptoms in order to be considered. It's two or more of the following symptoms within a few hours of stopping the stimulant. And if you meet two or more of these, it's called stimulant withdrawal. And the first one is fatigue, which I can see that. Like if you're coming down of like using a stimulant, yeah, you're gonna feel fatigued. You're gonna feel
Yeah,
tired. And then there's vivid, unpleasant dreams. I never really had, like you said, I only have too many unpleasant dreams.
right. Yeah,
Uh,
I rarely remember mine.
yeah, me too. And then there's insomnia or hypersomnia. And then there's increased appetite and psychomotor retardation or agitation. So if you
Yeah,
meet one,
I'm definitely a retard.
okay, that's not politically correct.
Who said I was?
All right, so then this is the last substance abuse disorder I wanted us to cover. It's I say this one for the last because you and me can both relate on this one. It's tobacco use disorder.
Yeah, there's one we can both relate to.
Yeah, exactly. So it says a problematic pattern of tobacco use leading to clinically significant impairment or stress as manifested by at least two of the following occurring within a 12-month period. So basically, you have to meet two of these criteria within a 12-month period to be classified as a tobacco use disorder. So the first one, number one, tobacco is often taken in larger amounts or over a longer period than was intended. Yeah, like when I was smoking a lot. Like I remember one time, I remember I got so bad, like I was taking care of my stepdad, and I was literally smoking like 200 cigarettes in one day.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
surprised I'm
mean, I
still.
thought I was bad with a pack and a half a day, but that 200, man,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're alive still.
I know exactly. Yeah. Uh, there is a persistent desire or unsuccessful efforts to cut down or control tobacco use. Yeah. Don't you agree with that? Like tobacco use is one of the hardest things to give up. Like
Yeah,
I heard
oh, I'm
what?
sorry, but I really like one of the first things I like to do when I wake up in the morning is just sit there and mess with my phone and smoke a cigarette. And then I want to eat breakfast. And after I'm done with that, I want to smoke another one. It just feels
Yeah.
like it's like a cherry on the pie or a cake or something to what you enjoy. And I really, really do like to smoke tobacco to relax myself and stuff. But I know, I mean, I'm 41. My wife is 26, and she's a little bit codependent. So while I'm on this earth, despite my eschatology views of thinking we might be near the end, I could be wrong on that. So if I do die of old age, I want to leave her enough money to where she can live comfortably before she goes. That's a
Yeah.
goal of mine. Whether the Antichrist is around the corner or not, I got to have that goal in mind, despite what I
No,
think
I
of.
get that. Like I'm trying. Like I'm glad. Like I haven't. I'm glad I pretty much have quit smoking. But I just, it is hard. Like I heard it one time said that it's easier to quit heroin than it is to quit smoking.
Yeah, I never even tried heroin. I quit it just like that.
Yeah, yeah. Like actually, like I really am focused on really quitting smoking cigarettes because after that one incident that happened to that person that shall not be named, like that was like a really big wake up call to me. Like I realized I need to quit smoking. I need to exercise, work out, because if this country comes to another civil war, I need to protect me and my wife. Like, so that was a wake up call for me.
Hmm.
So then where were we? Um, a great deal of time is spent in activities necessary to obtain or use tobacco. Yeah, I do. Like when I was smoking, I was pretty much looking for every reason to smoke a cigarette. Like the thing is, like I really enjoy having a cigarette. It's like it's very pleasurable. Like, and when I'm not smoking, I feel like I'm missing an old friend.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I do enjoy it. I always tell myself I'm gonna quit after this pack, and then after I quit for a day or two, I'm like, fuck, I really want some more. You know,
yeah,
um,
exactly, exactly.
like right now, I'm eating Jolly Ranchers to cut the cravings and stuff, so I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You tried Dum Dums, right?
I tried. I was doing dum dums. Yeah. The next one is craving or strong desire or urge to use tobacco. Well, of
Mm-hmm.
course, like when I'm not smoking, I do experience a really strong urge to want to smoke. Like,
Yep. Amen to that.
and recurrent tobacco use resulting in a failure to fulfill major role obligations at work, school, or home. Uh, I don't really, smoking cigarettes doesn't really affect my work. I mean, it doesn't. Oh, like, the only way it affects my home, like my wife doesn't like being around the smell of cigarette smoke, and so I can't smoke in the house. I have to step outside. But, uh, continue tobacco use despite having persistent or recurrent social or interpersonal problems caused by exacerbated by the effects of tobacco. For example, arguments with others about tobacco use. Um, yeah, me and my wife has gotten into arguments about me smoking tobacco before.
Yeah. The thing is, my wife, like, say something minor happens in my life and I'm kind of stressed out about it. She goes, I can see that you're stressed. Do you want to buy a pack? And I'll be like, yes, I do. And I'll buy one on
Yeah,
my app.
yeah. Recurrent tobacco use in situations in which it is physically hazardous. Smoking in bed. I never smoked in bed.
Yeah, I did that last night. In fact,
Oh, really?
I almost burned myself doing it too because it like
Oh,
fell out
wow.
of my fingers and it went like right here. I'm like, ah,
That's funny. I never did that. Like, I never smoked in the bed.
Yeah,
Like,
well, your wife won't allow that.
well, no, even before I was married, I never smoked in bed.
Okay, well, I can't say the
Right.
same.
Recurrent tobacco use in situ. Oh, I just read that one. Tobacco is continued despite knowledge of having a persistent and recurrent physical or psychological problem that is likely to have been caused or exacerbated by tobacco. So basically, if you're smoking tobacco and you realize you have a physical problem or a psychological problem, instead of quitting the tobacco, you keep smoking it anyways. That kind of reminds me of I remember years ago when I was in Colorado Springs. I had a neighbor across the hall, and this elderly couple, the woman was like on oxygen. She had to get toes amputated and stuff and fingers amputated. And despite all that, she was still smoking. And her and her husband died shortly after me and my friend left that apartment.
Wow, that's sad.
Yeah. Uh, Tolerance as I mean that just shows you just how strong of a of a grip that tobacco can have on you. The
Mhm.
fact that you could be experiencing all this physical, like your body's falling apart, and your mind still keeps insisting on smoking this little freaking cigarette that's doing you no good, but you still smoke it because you're addicted. Like it's like it's like illogical. Like I
It's
feel like
it's the devil's lettuce.
people that are smoking cigarettes are delusional, and I put myself in that same category. Like I'm delusional because like, how is it that we can be so addicted to this small little cigarette that's doing us no good whatsoever?
Well,
And yeah, we say we enjoy it, but I think that's just part of the delusion.
I know one way to fix the delusional part of the problem. Just
Well,
identify as a non-smoker.
yeah. So then
You
tolerance.
need to fix your phone, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. So tolerance as defined by either of the following: a need. Okay, okay, that's enough of that. So then the next thing, obviously, we're going to cover is tobacco withdrawal. This I found interesting. It says daily use of tobacco for at least several weeks. So basically, when you
Yes.
use tobacco for several weeks, and then it says abrupt cessation of tobacco or reduction in the amount of tobacco used, follow within 24 hours by four or more of the following signs or symptoms. So basically, after you stop smoking cigarettes for 24 hours, if you meet four or more of these symptoms, then because you're suffering from tobacco withdrawal. The first one is irritability, frustration, or anger. Yeah, I do
Uh,
get very irritable when I don't have a cigarette.
this is one of the reasons why, like, are these withdrawals permanent or they eventually go away and you just kind of have to write it out? Because, like, I don't want to be like an angry person all my
No,
life.
you just gotta write it out. They go away after yeah. And then
Okay.
the second one is anxiety. Yeah, I deal with anxiety when I'm not smoking.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
difficulty concentrating. I don't really experience that. I'm pretty. It's pretty much easy for me to concentrate when I'm looking at something. And decreased appetite. Yes, that is definitely me. When I'm not smoking, I'm always eating.
Yep. Me too. Actually, when I don't smoke marijuana, well, I know this is kind of changing the subject a little bit, but when I don't smoke marijuana, I don't eat as much. I guess because the munchies or
Yeah,
whatever. You know.
yeah. So then restlessness. I do get pretty restless when I'm not smoking. Depressed mood. I don't deal with depressed mood. Like, I don't really get depressed that often. I mainly deal with mania, not depression.
Aren't you lucky? I always preferred
Uh,
mania over depression.
yeah. And finally, the last one is insomnia, which usually I don't have problems sleeping unless I drink a lot of caffeine.
I definitely have insomnia.
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much all the substance, all the what should we call all the dual diagnosis topics I wanted us to address. So now the next topic we're going to talk about. This is going to get a little controversial, but we're going to talk about medication. Like, the thing is, I would like to say, if you have a mental illness, whether it's bipolar, schizophrenia, anxiety, depression, or whatever, it is it is very dangerous for you to go off your medication because like there's no shame with taking medication because like like for instance, think about it like this. A diabetic needs insulin shots. You would never shame that diabetic for taking insulin shots, would you? In the same way, someone with a broken brain needs medication to wire their brain together so they can be stable. There's no shame in taking medication.
Yeah.
Like I believe God has given psychiatrists and doctors and nurses the wisdom to know how to treat us.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I've been treated very bad with my but you have to be open and transparent with your doctors. That's important. So, you know, you froze.
Yeah, it's actually the more open and transparent you are with your psychiatrist, the better chance they have in helping you. So it's actually a good idea to you shouldn't hide anything from your psychiatrist.
Right.
But at the same time, though, actually, I was just talking to my elder about this earlier. It's kind of a shame that like PCP doctors are allowed to prescribe psychiatric medications. I think that's stupid. Like a PCP doctor is not trained in psychiatry, so they should not be allowed to prescribe psychiatric medications. But I'm going off topic. I digress. Okay, but
No, I agree.
yeah, it's like, and like, don't get discouraged. Like, even if you try a medication and you don't like it for whatever reason, just tell your psychiatrist, have you tried so? Because chances are you're not gonna find the right medication right away. Literally took me over a decade for me to find the right medication. So it's like, and like, I understand sometimes medications can have bad side effects and stuff, but that, like, honestly, like, once you like, if you report the bad side effects to your psychiatrist right away, he can catch that and take you off of it and put you on something different. Like, but that comes down to, you have to be honest with your psychiatrist. Like, I forgot what I was gonna say. Like, you just gotta be honest with them. Like, honestly, that's like the best thing you can do, is just be straightforward with your psychiatrist.
Amen. If you I used to go to suicide hospitals and I wouldn't even tell them what was wrong with me. I would
Yeah,
recover, but I wouldn't even tell them what's wrong with me, and I would go in and out of them because I was too ashamed to tell them what my problem was, and but
yeah,
that's the past though.
yeah. Oh, I think, what was it? I just had what I was gonna say, but I just forgot again. Like, basically, like, like, oh, that's what I was gonna say. Like, once you do find the right medication, it's gonna help you out tremendously, and you're gonna have minimal side effects. 'Cause, like, the medication I'm on right now, I'm on. Let me see. I'm on one, two, three, four, five. No, I'm on four different medications right now, and I have minimal side effects. Like, I don't really notice any side effects I'm experiencing. Like, the medication I'm on lamotrigine in the morning, 100 milligrams, olanzapine, 10 milligrams in the morning, and then in the evening I take Oxcard, but I can't say that word. Okay, it's like Oxcard bazapine, 600 milligrams in the evening, and then quetiapine, 400 milligrams in the evening, and then I take two olanzapine pills, 20 milligrams in the evening. And you know what? I take that medication, I don't really experiencing too many side effects. Like, honestly, sometimes I do kind of feel like a flat affect with my moods, but like that's not all the time. Like, it's like, what I'm saying is I'm able to live a functional life even though I'm taking all those medications.
Yeah, like myself, I used to be on I think it was called Geodon. Kind of sounds like a
Oh
Pokemon or something. And then they put me on Zyprexa. I didn't care for that stuff. But
yeah,
now I'm taking shots, and at first it was once a month. Then I got to once every 3 months, and now it's twice a year. And
yeah,
it's in Vega shots, and it's working for me so far.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, like, it's definitely interesting. Like, we both have schizoaffective disorder, but like the way we treat our schizoaffective disorder is completely different. Like, you take the shots twice a year. I take my pills every day, and it just
Mhm.
shows you that two people can have the same disorder, but it's different. The way we treat it and the way it manifests is completely different. Because another way another difference between my disorder and your disorder is you don't hallucinate and I do.
Yeah, and also I deal with more depression and you deal with more mania.
Yeah, that's another difference. Yeah, like don't think just because you have a mental illness that you're gonna be like the next guy with mental illness. Like, I mean, don't think you're a freak of nature either, because a lot of people are in your shoes. But we all deal with mental illness in a different way.
Yeah, you're not alone. I mean, you might be surrounded by a bunch of people that don't know what you're going through, but you're not alone. A lot of people have gone exactly what you're going through right now.
Exactly, that's exactly right. That's true. All right. So, is there any final words you want to say?
Well, my birthday's coming up, and so is my wife's.
Oh, you guys
And
have any
my wife
special?
is going to be 27. I'll be 42, and October 2nd, and so then our anniversary is coming up November 21st. So things are moving ahead in my life.
Do you guys have any special dates planned?
Well, we're gonna go out for our birthdays. I have my birthday off, and I took a day off of work for her birthday. But so
Nice.
that but on our anniversary, I believe I have that off too. If not,
Yeah.
I can request it off. But you know,
Yeah.
we're probably gonna go out somewhere in different part of the state and for a hotel. You know,
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
All right. So like that concludes our show of real life with schizophrenia. Like we're not gonna have the next show next week, but it's gonna be the following Thursday after next Thursday. And if there's anything you want us to talk about concerning mental health, please or please get in contact with either me or Joe to like give us ideas of what you guys want us to talk about concerning mental health. And if you would like to be a guest on our show, like only if you're a Christian, but if you want to be a guest on our show, then just contact one of us and we can set it up where you can be a guest on our show. But
I
yeah,
have
so
I know someone who could be a potential guest in the future. I'll let you know later.
is he a Christian?
Yes, she is.
Okay, all right. All right, so if you guys liked this live stream, please leave a like on this video and comment below. Let us know what you guys think, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and share this video with anyone that you feel like needs to hear what we were talking about tonight. And as always, if you've been blessed by the Christ Center Mental Health Ministry, please consider supporting the ministry either through Patreon, Venmo, or Cash App for a $5 or more pledge on Patreon, or a one-time donation of $10 or more on Cash App or Venmo. I'll send you a few copies of my books that I've written as a token of my gratification. Have a good night, everyone, and stay strong in the Lord. All
God
right, bye.
bless.